Hi, I'm Egil Thorsson and I'm with
Bragi.
So Bragi, what are we talking about today?
Well, today we're here to talk about another of the Hoard videos.
Oh, right.
And this is on a most spectacular piece of work, and it is the Ardagh Chalice.
I've seen it, yeah.
It's an Irish Viking Age hoard. So, what are your very first thoughts about the chalice before I go into the details about it?
I think you've said it all. It's beautiful.
It is.
In the 18th century there was a collection of these things, and it says it's not the work of men, surely it's the work of angels.
Well, of course so, you could see that.
And if you see them, wow, it's well worth seeing. But
Ardagh
Chalice, so tell us all about it.
I have some notes to read, so I have to read the notes. I can't remember all the information. So first of all, the hoard, the chalice, was found in September of 1868, a good while ago, by two young boys whose names were Jim Quinn and Paddy Flanagan. So I think first of all I'd like to say thank you to those two boys for finding this beautiful piece of artwork from the early Christian Irish monks. Just stunning. And the Ardagh hoard is best known for the Ardagh Chalice. Now, the hoard of metalwork from the 8th and 9th century, and it's a very nice hoard indeed, and it consists of the chalice, it consists of a planer, a stemmed cup in copper alloy, and 4 brooches. 3 of the brooches, which are elaborate with pseudo penannular woven crosses, and one a true penannular brooch with the thistle type style. It's a very nice brooch. Reminds me of another hoard, the Silverdale hoard. Now, the hoard was speculated to have been buried in around 900 AD. And the chalice ranks with the books of Kells, so it shows you how important...
Oh, the Book of Kells,
yes.
I saw a very good copy of that when I went to Ireland. Most impressive.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, to compare it to the Book of Kells, it kind of says what standard of work this is. And the chalice on the hoard was found whilst the two boys, Jim Quinn and Paddy Flanagan, were digging in a potato field on the southwestern side of Thrath, a ring fort. So yet again, it's quite interesting how it was in close connection to an old ring fort.
Yeah.
And the ring fort was called re-enactor beside the village of Ardagh in County Limerick.
It may be that it's a well-known reference point, so they could go back and dig it up.
Well, of course so. And when found, the chalice hold the other items within the bucket. It makes sense to a degree. So the hoard was covered merely by a slab of stone. So evidence points out to this being buried in a hurry.
Yeah.
Perhaps, but speculation. Now, the brooches buried with the hoard show that it was not just buried until the late Viking Age. So the brooches kind of dictate the date, don't they?
Yeah, it's the dateable objects.
And it was sold by the Queen's mother to George Butler, Bishop of Limerick. So we're quite lucky, really, that they didn't end up in the melting pot, because that could have happened very easily. You know, if you dig something out, a load of silver, you know, scrap value, in the melting pot it goes, and history gone forever. So we have to be very thankful to the mother as well for selling it on to the Bishop, George Butler. So the chalice, let's talk about the chalice itself. Now the chalice is a large bowl with two-handed cup. So it's a large two-handed cup, basically.
A bit like a football trophy.
In a sense, yes. It's like the modern equivalent, would you say?
Yeah, and it's more graceful than a football trophy.
Well, of course so. And unless it's like the World Cup. So it's decorated with gold and gilt bronze and brass, lead, pewter and enamel. So the processors were making this item, 1,400 years ago, let's say. You couldn't really imagine how they had the technology those days. So it's awe-inspiring, really.
So it's like Cloisonne work as well, isn't it?
Yes, it's got some enamel. So it was assembled, unbelievably, from 354 pieces. So, first of all, you got to have a master, silversmith in a workshop.
It makes you wonder whether it was collected as tribute from various tribes.
Well, I think possibly the silver, the gold was, but there's no way you collect bits of a chalice here and bits of a chalice there. Somebody had to come up with a design and make the whole thing. So, To me, as an engineer, I just find that really, really amazing. So this is typical of the early Christian Irish metalwork, with the main body of the chalice formed from two hemispheres of sheet silver, joined with hidden rivets, hidden by a gilt bronze band. So they even went to the full length to hide the rivets. So, you know, yet again, it shows you the level of craftsmanship here.
Yeah, artistic appreciation.
Now, there's many techniques used in making this chalice. They included hammering, engraving, lost wax casting, filigree, applique, cloisonne, and enamel. I can never say that word. Yet again, you know, the amount of level of craftsmanship to do those techniques over 1,000 years ago is astonishing. I'd really, really love to see their workshop and go back in time. So the underside of the chalice is decorated. So yet again, they even decorated the underside. And it's an amazing piece of craftsmanship. I can't really say it enough. Now, the complicated manufacturing shows continuity with the Anglo Saxon jewellers of the 8th century, which you can kind of see, can't you?
Yeah.
And makes sense. And the chalice is very similar to the one from Derry Naflan, which we'll be talking about next in the video.
Yeah.
So, yet again, very interesting how both chalices are very similar.
Yeah.
And it's often been speculated that both the Derry Naflan and the Ardagh Chalice are being manufactured by the same person. Is that true?
It's quite possible.
Possibly.
I mean, you look at the Sutton Hoo Hoard and the Staffordshire Hoard, and there's continuity there, in my view.
Oh yes, so of course the Derry Naflan Chalice was found in the county of Tipperary.
Ah,
So
it's a long way to Tipperary.
it's a very long way to Tipperary.
A long way to go.
I know a song about that.
Yeah.
Now, there was speculation that the chalice was fabricated at Clonmacnoise. I believe you know about this place.
Clonmacnoise, it's a beautiful place. Now, anybody's on holiday, Ireland's a beautiful country.
It is.
But Clonmacnoise, it's a great big tower.
Oh, very big.
It's about 200 foot.
Really?
Yeah. And it's got a cone on top.
Yes,
and
I can picture it.
And the door entrance is about 15 feet up. They had a ladder.
And how old is it?
To be 8th, 9th century.
So amazing that they could build that high back in the day.
I mean, they hid the treasures in there and they hid the monks in there. And the Vikings raided it 7 times, but the Irish 27 times. So, you know, Vikings weren't the only raiders.
Oh yes, so it was speculated that the chalice was fabricated at this wonderful tower and was stolen by a Limerick Dane, although this is unproven to date.
Who knows?
You know what Danes are like, you know, they did like to go around and, you know, steal other people's wealth.
Well, there's nothing like a Dane.
Nothing like a Dane, indeed.
Nothing in the world.
This is a whole video full of song quotes here.
Nothing you can name. There's anything like a Dane. Sorry.
A Munster origin is just as likely to be considering the discovery of the 1980 hoard of the Derry Naflan chalice. So, you know, I think that's possible.
Yeah.
So overall, it's a fantastic chalice, and the brooches are also spectacular. And it's on display at the National Museum in Ireland, in Dublin.
Yeah, I mean, I was lucky that they lent it to the British Museum, and when I was a student, we went to have a look at it. So impressive that our tutor in York suggested we go to London, and you know what? It was great. Well worth it.
Oh yeah, I think it just shows, you know, these Irish monks, the craftsmen they have were just spectacular. You can really understand why the early Saxons and the mid-Saxons really sought after Irish art. Because it was something special, wasn't it?
It's beautiful work. So I know now about the Ardagh Chalice.
Yes, I think well done. I didn't really mess it up too much. Sometimes when I read these things and some of the previous Hoard videos, I have to do it 2 or 3 times because you get halfway through and you can't pronounce this word, and in my mind, let's mess that up. So I think let's summarise. What are your overall thoughts on this wonderful, wonderful chalice?
I think you said it all. It is a wonderful piece of work. It looks like it was buried at the Hill Fort as a well-known location to come back and get it, but they never did. It's a good piece of work. You see why they hid it, because in antiquity, what they done? Melted it down and made coins.
Well, yes.
Yeah, or a bangle.
I mean, how many chalices have we lost?
Who knows?
You know,
how long's a piece of string?
I mean, to a Viking, it would have made a great drinking bowl.
Yeah.
So there you go. So I think we can finally say that video is done, and next time we'll be recording the video on the Derry Nafferland Chalice, and then after that I'll be researching the Silverdale Hoard.
And if they want to leave a comment,
yes, please do.
Bell in the corner there.
If you have any thoughts on this wonderful object or on Hoard, then please leave a comment.
Yeah.
And if you are new to the channel, then please consider subscribing to us.
Yeah.
We're just your local, friendly, entertaining Vikings, aren't we?
We certainly are.
I am Bragi.
And I am Egil.
And we'll see you in the next video.
Woof woof.
Goodbye.
Bye.